My name is Eliza Barbara. I'm 16 years old, and my mother passed away about a week ago. I've started skipping school, and I've stopped talking to my friends. I've secluded myself inside my room, spending hours and hours on the computer, clicking on link after link and page after page. I've explored the depths of the internet, searching for something to get me out of my depression. Then one day, I found it. It was a website called learnyourlesson.onion. Suspicious, I clicked on it. I wasn't exactly sure what the link would take me to, but I got my answers soon enough, as a black page with white font suddenly appeared on my screen. It looked a bit over the top, as if whoever made it was a 13-year-old trying to scare me. You have regrets? We all do. But not everyone can do something about it. You can. As long as you follow our directions, you can relive your worst regrets and learn from your mistakes. Thinking about your past can only do you so much, but reliving it can be sure to scare you straight. I thought that this was definitely a scam, but at this point, I thought, what the hell? I clicked on the next page, which asked for all of my information, including my full name, address, and credit card details. I rolled my eyes and, reluctantly, filled it out. Name, Elizabeth Barbara. I took a deep breath and filled out my address and credit card information. There was one question left, and it made my stomach drop. What is your biggest regret? I knew what the answer was, and my fingers shook slightly as I typed it. Being responsible for my mother's death. I clicked submit before I could reread what I had just written. Congratulations, your order has been placed, screen popped up, and I quickly closed my computer. I didn't even know what I had just ordered, and I sort of didn't want to. About a week later, when I was just starting to forget about the creepy ordeal, a mysterious package arrived at my door. There were no stamps or shipping information on it, as if someone had just placed it at my doorstep instead of shipping it through the mail. I picked it up cautiously, as if it would explode, and carried it inside. I opened the package and pulled out some packing peanuts. Sitting on the bottom of the box was a USB drive. The word Lily was written on it. Lily was my mother's name. I assumed that whoever was the creator of that website had simply looked me up to freak me out. I was a little bit shaken, but I decided to plug the USB drive into my old computer, just in case there was a virus or something on it. Better safe than sorry and all that. A video automatically began playing. I immediately recognized my party outfit. Neon blue crop top and torn black leggings. I felt like a 40-year-old as I realized that I looked like an idiot. I was wearing way too much makeup, and my hair looked like the 80s had thrown up on it. I watched with horror as I walked into the kitchen where my mother was eating something. Toast with avocado spread, I thought to myself, even though I couldn't see what she was eating in the video. It's funny how you remember things like that. Mom, can I go to Angie's party? I asked. Eliza, you have school in the morning, but I'll be back by midnight. My decision is final, I'm afraid. I stomped off. I remember thinking, I hate you, over and over again. I wanted to strangle my past self with all my might. The video cut to me in my bedroom, on the phone as I texted Angie. She said I can't go. It's so unfair. Here it comes, I thought. I wanted to turn off the computer. The power button wasn't working. I tried to get up and run out of the room, but I was glued to my seat. I didn't want to hear the words that Angie would say next. But it was too late. She replied, "Why don't you just sneak out? You'll be back before the morning. She'll never notice." "Don't do it," I yelled helplessly at my computer screen. But it was too late. I had already jumped out of my window and ran down the street toward Angie's house. I started sobbing uncontrollably, knowing what would come next. I was at the party getting drunk.
You're 16! Stop drinking!
But I didn't. I threw back drink after drink and shot after shot. Had I really drank that much? That part of the night was a blur, obviously. Angie walked over to me.
You're drinking too much, Eliza. Do you want me to take you home?
Now, this is starting to feel familiar.
I'm fine,
I assured her, even though it came out more like,
I'm fine. I'm going to get my keys.
Angie left, leaving me alone to order another shot.
Please find the keys. Please find the keys.
I pleaded, even though I already knew that she didn't.
Crap, where are my keys?
Angie started asking people if they had seen them, but of course nobody had.
I think I'm going to have to call your mom. No, please, no. But Angie.
Angie or Ungie didn't listen to either of our pleas, and she took out her phone. I was starting to shake uncontrollably, knowing what was going to happen.
Mrs. Barbara? Yes. I'm sorry to wake you. Well, Eliza's here and... I know. I got her to come. It's my fault. She needs you to get her. Okay. Bye. I know. I'm sorry.
Angie hung up, looking embarrassed and angry.
She'll be here in 5 minutes, Miss Party Girl. You'd better get yourself put together so she won't know you're drunk. You're in enough trouble as it is. And I am too. I'm not drunk.
Suddenly, the video switched over. I almost jumped with shock. I didn't even need to wait for the camera to focus. I knew who was on the other end of the screen. My mother looked absolutely pissed. She was muttering to herself, and she was still in her pajamas that she was buried in. I began whimpering like a scolded puppy as the Chandler Boulevard sign came into view. I saw the truck come into the rearview mirror, and I screamed at the top of my lungs for my mother to get out of the way. But it was too late. You know how when you're watching a movie and you start screaming at the characters to not do something, even though you know that they can't hear you? Well, that's what I started doing. I'm embarrassed to admit that I actually started praying as well, as if God could rewind time. Once I saw the torn pink fabric, soaked red with blood, I knew it was hopeless. I felt so filled with despair that for a brief moment, I considered ending it all. I slapped myself to get the thought out of my mind. And when my gaze was once again brought back to the stained fabric, I started vomiting. I was vomiting even harder than the night I found out, and that was when I was falling off my feet drunk. Once I cleaned myself up, I looked back at the screen. Thank God the video had ended, but it was now displaying a black slide, like a PowerPoint presentation, written in a white font, which was now 10 times creepier than it was on the website, were the words, "Have you learned your lesson?"
Thanks for listening. If you enjoy these stories, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out some more of my episodes here.